Ellie, place. Ellie, place. Up. There. That's the turn I'm looking for. Gave her a chance and I was real close to correcting the top. So instead of hold, this is turning into more of a little bit of a heel work. She's real sloppy. Nope. So you can see, here's what I'm going for. I'll show it with Ellie. I need a helper. Can you help me? So I'm going to have you just hold on to her. Now, she's not bad with me. She's not great. I have a feeling that this will dissolve quickly. New person, she's going to go, oh boy, new person. I'll take advantage of you. So I'm going to help him figure this out. So I'm going to have you, you're always going to be on her left side. You're going to put your hand like right here. And right here. Okay. And now I'm just going to have you swing around right there. And just have her sit. Give her a little tap with it. Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm going for. Now, big difference between that 9-month-old puppy that just, now one thing, and we'll show you. This is what I'm looking for. Watch how this is turning into a heel thing, not hold. We'll get back to your hold thing. Watch how she turns with me. Loose lead is what I'm looking for. See his lead right now? It's at a 6. So let down. That's what you want. Because that correction, then she takes advantage of it. So the correction means nothing if you're at a 6 all the time. So, it's not your fault. So there's where I want it. See the little bend in the lead? Now if I give her a correction, it's effective. If she creeps, she won't creep on me. If she does, to tighten this out, that's too late. There's already pressure on it. So right here is where I want it. Now, notice her actions, her behavior. Position it. Nothing has changed. No, nothing has changed except I switched handlers. So give her there. Beautiful. Now if she takes a step, give her a little corrector. Now I'm going to show you what I'm looking for with Ellie. See how it's creeping. There's pressure. So even right now, there's a little bit of pressure. So that's all right. Keep her there for now. We're going to work on that. This is what I'm looking for. Ellie, heel. Ellie. Heel. Now watch when I turn into her. Watch her feet. She's got pretty nice feet. Missed it there. Whoop, we missed it. There. It's hard for dogs to walk backwards. She can't help it. She knows her position. Good. When I turn, she turns. When I turn in, she bends. She leads with her back. That's hard to do. That takes a while. Now I'm going to trade it for you. I'll make you look good. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. It's the same thing she's going to do to your left side. So you tell her to heel and walk into it. And watch all of a sudden she'll adjust in the position. So this around. Hold your heel. Okay, now, amped up times 10. Ooh, energy. It's a puppy. My patience level needs to be amped up times 10. So this is where a lot of people get a little frustrated. This is hard to do with all of this. It's really difficult. So I'm going to be real happy with there. See that one? There. 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 gave her a second chance on it. There. That one I had to correct.
Get Scooter in here, see if they can get Scooter to do it.
Now, where's that one? Bring that one over here. How's that one on heel? I'm going to trade it. Now, the first thing he's going to say is, I don't like you. You're way too serious for me. Okay, now one thing I'm going to do is, so I've never met Oakley before.
Now you're not doing it.
Good. First thing I'm going to do, give me that lead, is I'm going to put the right, this is a tool that's going to help me. So this right here, look at what we've got here. It's really hard to get anything out of this flat collar. And I'll be honest with you, this is slippery. This, if I were to correct it, I'll slip my hand through it. So by putting this on, this is going to help. Now again, never met Oakley before. So before we get started, look at her lead right now. Just let it go. There. We have such a tendency with our dogs to have level 6 pressure on them at all times. I think we get nervous and we want to make sure we've got them. This dog is probably used to this. This is like pressure. The dog feels it right now. So in order for me to get a change, let's just say my change is level 10. That's when it gets the change. The change is the behavior that I want. Good. First off, I'm going to have to get his trust. He's going to go, oh my God. What I like about him is he comes up to me and he wags his tail. I go, you're not so bad. But he doesn't like me yet. I have to first have him trust me before he'll learn anything from me. He wants to go away from me. Good. What I really like is this little indicator, and he's tipped white so I can see it. When that thing goes, he's happy. When he's happy, he'll learn. As soon as he tucks it down and cowers, he'll learn nothing. Okay. Heel. I'm going to go, I need a little bit of room for him. I'm going to go right down here. Will you roll those things out of the way? Yeah, that's perfect. I need a little runway because we're going to have to get a few steps going to get a cadence and a rhythm. His rhythm, in order to get what I want, we're going to have to get some cadence going. All right, ready, Oakley? Good. 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 As soon as I correct, he really braced. Because right now, he's very uncertain of what in the world do you want me to do. So he's going to have to make a few mistakes and I'll correct. He's going to have to do some things right and I'll say, that's what I want, good boy. Okay. There. That pressure was enough. Come on. That pressure was enough. You don't have to put much on these guys. But I want you to notice the lead, how loose the lead is. When he gets out too far, good. Good. I also want well, you give her a correction. Tight. Snap her. Get her back. Get her back. Get her back. There you go. I turn and he wants to. Good. It won't take many times where he's going to learn. That's what I'm supposed to do. Come with. So when I stop, you are very good. Oh, I think it's pretty nice. This is turned a little bit. I need to turn that. Did you see that? I corrected that. He was on sit and I bumped him. It was this much. Good. So it's my objective is as little pressure as possible to get the change. So as he starts to figure out what I'm asking him to do, I'll have to tap him just a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter to get him what I want him to do. Hopefully, feel. There. That was all the pressure it took to start him off with his feet. Good. And when he does it, I'm sure to remind him. Good. I'm just as quick to remind him when he does it wrong. That turn, he's not sure. He wants to sit on that turn. There it is. When dogs don't do stuff that we want them to do, it's not because they don't want to do it, it's because they don't understand what we want. He thinks when we go to turn, he should sit and he should. There. There's, it's always right there where he sits. So I'm going to read that. This one's a good turn. Here's where he wants to sit. I'm going to keep his feet moving. Good. Very good. Good. My little audible and a little tap. And did you notice as I kept going, my pace pecked up? When I started out, I was really slow. Because I just had to have this guy figure out what I was asking him to do. Anybody notice him panting right now? He's exhausted. How far have we gone? This tired this dog out more than a 10-mile run. Because he had to think about it. He's exhausted.
What's this type of leash called?
It's called the it's adjustable leader on our page, on our website, dog. But the idea behind it is, well, you were in something, so I can release the dog and have him go, and he feels that weight. That's going to be my transition to going off lead as well. So part of the problem you were having was your tools. Hard to get a result with that collar. Hard to make it count. Hard to get that result with that leash. It was slippery. Like, there was a couple of the first corrections that I did, I put a little bit on it. And if I didn't put enough on it to get, and then I was able to get lighter and lighter and lighter to the point where I just have to have him feel me turn.
Come on, don't.
It's that sticking point. So that would be my mental note right now. That's what I got to work on. Don't sit when I go to turn.
What?
Keep your feet moving. Keep your feet moving. Keep your feet moving. There they are. So when he does it, he's got to know it too.
How old is he?
10 months.
Nice little dog. Real nice.
You like her?
Her and I've been calling him the whole time? Oh my God.
She doesn't discriminate.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. She's sharp. Now, I'm gonna bring her back to you. Now you do it.
You're still gonna have to do hold with me.
Huh?
You're still gonna have to do hold with me.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta do hold. Hold's next. Loose lead. Loose lead. There. Don't use it as a steering wheel. Like, I think it's perfect because her face just went, because she's just not sure. Why would you be? How many times have you done this with me? Zero. So why should you be sure? So as you develop that feel and that confidence for it, you'll understand why. So right now, we really like to hold the crutch. They won't turn if I'm like this. You're using it like a steering wheel. What we want to do is give them the opportunity to make the mistake and then be corrected and make the good decision and then be rewarded. Because she knows, she can do it. She doesn't know exactly what you want. So go ahead. Don't steer. There. she's walking all over him. Give her a nice correction. She'll start to respect you a little bit. Give her a nice tap. Even sharper. Sharper. Turn and walk away. Turn and walk away. Snap it. There. She went, oh my God, he means it.
Jeremy, I have a question. You may have answered it. I had to step away. About when you're hunting sheds
Beautiful.
versus hunting birds,
Yep.
like pheasants or grouse, and you're commanding them to
Same.
hunt.
Same
It's the
command.
same command.
Hunts hunt.
Okay.
Hunts hunt. If you're shed hunting and your dog flushes a rooster, I'm okay with it. If you're bird hunting and your dog retrieves a shed, I'm okay with it. I don't think you have to say, we're not shed hunting, don't pick up those sheds. No, pick them up. I found a lot of sheds tracking deer. Because I go into areas that I never go in any other time of the year, and all of a sudden there's a shed, my dog picked it up and brought it back to me. Good. Put it in your pouch and keep moving. Okay, I'm going to do hold.
I've read that like the mice and stuff will eat the sheds pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Do you find them year round, or do you?
I don't
Is
look.
there
I
a small
usually
window?
I usually don't look after it greens up because the ticks get so bad and it's hard to find them. So, but you'll find sheds that are 2, 3, 5, 10 years old. Some get chewed, and I found some that I know they didn't shed for more than a week, and they're chewed up already. It just depends on what you have in your area. But I've had some that get chewed really quickly. I found some that are years and years and years old, and they're beautiful. They might be faded, but so just
Where they fall.
yes. If they fall in the woods, squirrels get after them really quick. If they fall out in the middle of the field, squirrels won't go out in the field to chew on them.
Cattails.
So, yeah, up north, porcupines.
What can you talk
Nice
about
job.
ticks for a second?
Yeah.
What the deer ticks where I shed hunt, even in March, are out like crazy in some
Sure.
clear cuts.
Sure.
What do you do?
Frontline.
That's your.
I use frontline.
Okay.
Yep. And I think it works pretty good.
Do you believe in the vaccination too?
Yes. Yes. Limes.
Yep.
Ellie great question. Ellie got bit, so I had him in. I had all these guys in for their yearly. This one, and then Spry. I had them in for their yearly. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and they ran this thing. I don't know what it was called. It was called the something test 40 or something, where they test for like everything. And so they did it, and she came back slight positive for, I don't know if it was Lyme's, or I guess I didn't ask them, but she came back slight positive on one of the tick-borne diseases, which means she was bit and infected. It showed up so minimal, it means it's because she was vaccinated, she didn't have effects. So the vaccine saved her. I don't know what disease exactly it was, I didn't ask. But she showed positive for something, but the vaccine took care of it. So, yeah, I believe in it because I think, these dogs that are in the field, even dogs that aren't in the field, there's a lot of people that dogs get Lyme's disease that live in the city. Ticks are bad news, man. My wife fought Lyme's disease bad. So hold conditioning. I don't start with this. I start with a wooden dowel. And it goes back to the idea of I don't want to associate negative stuff with things that I want them to like in the end. I want them to like this, and I want them to like this, and I want them to like that, and I want them to like this, and I want them to like the things that I want them to find for me and retrieve. So I'm not going to connect this starting out with that in case it doesn't go that well. Some dogs don't like it. If you watch on our YouTube page, I've probably, or channel, or whatever you call YouTube, I guess is a channel. I've probably live hold conditioned 4 or 5 different dogs on it. So there's video of it, you can watch it. And so when I first start out, they all act a little different. She's been on a table before. I put them on a table purposely. Get them up off the ground, get them off their feet. Their tendency to focus on me is greater. I take away a little bit of their confidence. To start this out, I want them with me. Like this is that part of like teamwork. I'm not doing this to try to put fear into her. I'm a big believer in dogs want to do us right. They really want to make us happy. And if we can figure out how to explain it to them of what we really want, they'll do it without fighting. But the problem is sometimes I think we get to the point where we think we have to force them to do things. and they do it out of fear because of our tactics that we use. I'm a believer in this. If I work for someone and they offer me a big bonus for doing the job really, really well, or they threaten me with firing me if I make one mistake, you will get a lot more out of me as an employee for the guy that says, you do a good job, I give you a nice bonus. It's just the way I think. I think dogs are like that. So when I start out with a wooden dowel, I put them up on the table to the point that they're comfortable. I'll take a little nail and a short tether, and I'll have them so that they can't do this. I don't want them laying down. So come on, get up. So I'll put a flat collar like they have on their dog right now, and I'll tether her to a nail. If you watch on our video, you'll see I do it on our freezer. You don't have to be fancy. Dog training does not require fanciness. It's very simple. I use my freezer, a chest freezer, and I have a set of stairs that goes up above it, and I put a couple nails in it for different heights of different dogs, and I hook that on there, and I hook accordingly, so that her head cannot get down below about there. Because if she wants to duck out of this, she can't. She physically can't. So I put the flat collar on her, I tether her up, I take a wooden dowel, not the bumper, I roll the gums back. Now she naturally is reaching for it because she's been through this. I roll these gums up because these gums have a tendency to get in the way. That hurts. When I want a dog to drop something, I just reach in here on the gums and they'll usually spit it right out. So I want to put the head up, put the wooden dowel in, get the gums out of the way, and I'm just right here. Hold. Hold. Dead. Dead. And then I take it out. Like, sometimes when you go in for the first time, they're going to fight you. That's where I don't want this. Because I don't want to have to get one of these for the first time when it's something that I think she should like. But then what I do is go from the wooden dowel to the point where she starts taking it. Now, you see a lot of times where they chomp. Want to chomp, want to chomp, chomp. I can't move on if she's still chomping. I can't move on if her nose isn't up. That's the position I want right there. Hold. Hold. She says, make sure I get on video here. Hold. Hold. Good. Dead. Dead. Good. So I go through this progression with a wooden dowel. I get it in there. They have to hold. Then I get them to move their feet. So they hold. Then the next step is I take the tether off. Now they can move their head if they want, but if you take that tether off and they immediately put their head down, you're right back to the tether. You just gotta. This takes weeks. I tell people figure 7 to 10 weeks. 7 to 10 weeks.
What age would you start that?
After they're done teething, so they gotta be teethed. They'll teeth between 4 and 6 months old. Don't hold condition a dog before they're done teething. Don't retrieve during teething. No retrieving. We don't want to form bad habits. This one's got plenty. So we don't want dogs to pick stuff up and drop it, pick stuff up and drop it, pick stuff up and drop it, because they have a sore mouth. So when they're teething and they go to pick this up and they go, I really want to bring it back, but it hurts, and they drop it, we're forming habits. Wrong one. So eliminate that window. But then once they're done teething, get them back into retrieves, short retrieves, easy retrieves. Then they get back into retrieves, and to be honest with you, we're Spry's outside. So Spry's the dog we trained live on Facebook. We're still doing it. She's a little over a year now. I didn't hold condition Spry until she was almost 10 or 11 months old. And the problem with her was she couldn't make retrieves. She was the worst retrieving dog I've ever had. She was 8 months or older before I made a retrieve with her. And a lot of people will say, well then, a lot of people would have given up on her a long time before. Would have said, she's no good. On to the next dog, sell her as a family dog. She'll probably turn out to be one of my finer gun dogs. She's nice. She took a long time to grow up. But I hold conditioned her at like 10 or 11 months, and it was only because I never really had the problem with her dropping or running off, because when she did finally start to retrieve, I did what I did upstairs with Elsa. I'd get down and she'd come to me and I'd encourage her to hold it and share it with me. I'm not in a hurry to take stuff up. So before you get to hold conditioning, one of the things that you can do is make hold conditioning a lot easier. Don't train a bad habit in early. Don't get in the habit of pulling it away from them right away, because they'll say, I'm not bringing it back. You're going to take it. No, get them in here and share it with them and tell them how good they are. Let them hold on to it. Don't let them hold on to it so long that they run off with it. Now you got a game of chase. Keep away. Don't ever play tug of war with your puppies. You start doing that, you're just forming habits that hold conditioning is going to fix later. But you can make yourself a lot easier. So once she gets the dowel, and she can hold it beautifully, and then you take the tether off and she'll hold it beautifully, then I'll get her to move her feet, and I'll just have her move along this table. So let me move some of the stuff, show you what I mean. So let's get her up. She takes it, real willing, hold. So then come here, hold, good. Come here. Hold. Watch how she finishes. Hold. That's how I want it. Hold. Good. Good. Her little release is getting nicer too, just after a few practices here. At first she was a little hesitant to give it up to me, but by third, fourth time, she's starting to go, no big deal, hold. So move her feet a little bit. Good. Get a nice finish. Hold. Good. Dead. Now I say dead. You can use whatever command you want. Just do it consistently. From there, I'll come down to the ground. I'm still with a wooden dowel. This might be 4 weeks into it. Hold. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to move around. Dog's just on remote sit. But she cannot drop the bumper. She cannot drop the dowel. If she drops it, you went too fast, you're back on the table. Like once you start it, there's no going back. Like if they make a mistake, you didn't do a good enough job. This really is brainwashing. All I'm doing is brainwashing the dog to understand when they put something in their mouth, they can't set it down until they come to me and I tell them, dead. Dead. Good. So from the ground, me moving around, and we're okay with it. I'm not quick to call dogs off sit. I rarely do. Here. But in this case, I start to do this. Hold. Hold. Bring him over here. Now, you got to remember what this looks like to him, to her. Like I took 2 steps and I said, here. Good. That's a retrieve. That's a beautiful retrieve right there. No drop, nice finish, nice delivery. Yeah. They don't care if it's 2 steps or 200 yards. That's the part that I'm working on. So from 2 steps and a nice retrieve with a solid hold to 4 steps. Here. Should go right to her. Come on. Come on. Ellie.
That one really
Ellie. A great test for that one. So now we can start doing some of this stuff. Then we can go, once we have the dog, now this is the big step. This is where people really rush to, and then they end up in a problem. They want to get to this point. They want to get to this point where there's a retrieve. And as soon as they go to the retrieve, the dog runs out and it goes right back to its old bad habits. Runs off, circles, picks up, wants to play, drop. So if you're to that point, if that's what happens, you're back over here. That's why if you're in doubt, do it longer, do it longer, do it longer. It takes a while, but it's literally brainwashing the dog to understand when something goes in my mouth, I can't set it down without him taking it from me. Ellie. Hold. Hold. Now that delivery, maybe a little sloppy. Around the world there, sit. So how do I fix that? You got a dog that likes to run hot laps around you? You set yourself up for success. Ellie, here. Imagine this is your garage. Ellie. Here. Here. Well, Yoko can't go around me. She's really trying to figure out a way. I just took away 50% of her chance to fail because I put a wall behind her. And now she comes to the front of me. I love this visual of this aisle. There's like a perimeter. There's a wall right there. There's a wall right there. Visually for this dog, this is a nice corridor to go down straight and back. So great places to do some of this retrieving stuff where you need to make sure your dogs go straight out and straight back. Softball diamonds or baseball diamonds that have outfields that are back to side. So left field in one field and right field in the other, and there's this long chain built dog training center. Those are great places to make retrieves, straight out and straight back. When you get to that point, so before you get to that point, just shrink it all up to your hallway and close all the doors in it. That's what you start out with little dogs. Close the doors in the hallway, roll a sock down it, let them chase down and bring it back. But we're going to slowly build off that. So hold is a process. So hold is also something that is so important. We did a shed training DVD. It's new. It's not available yet. It's in production right now. We're doing pre-orders on it on our website. It's 3 hours long. Our old shed DVD had hold conditioning as a part of it. It was a 10-minute chapter. And I did that even shorter. And I showed it with one dog. The new DVD, we filmed it, and I think hold conditioning is such an important part of the training process. It became, by the time it was edited, it was over an hour long. And I said, that's too much on one topic to put in a shed DVD. So we separated it out. It's an hour-long video now on hold conditioning. I use 5 different dogs. One's a German short hair, one's a puppy. Spry, our little dog, is in it, and she's just starting to get put on a table. So it's a bunch of different dogs. Actually, Spry wasn't even to hold conditioning. I used her to show an example. She wasn't even there yet. So, but it's over an hour, and that is, hey, Ellie, sit down, my friend. Sit down. So that's unacceptable. Here. That to me can't happen. So what I would make a little note right now, and in my head I'd go, Ellie, remote sit. I work on a remote sit in a lot of distracting areas. And I'd have strangers walk their dogs past and work on it. And I probably wouldn't be that far away. I'd be right here. So the second she went to look to go, I'd she'd sit. So that's something that comes up. Gotta fix it. But so that gives you, yeah. So that gives you an idea of the process of hold. Now I'd go to our YouTube page and I'd watch all those videos. Ellie, sit down. Now you're going to hear my tone get a little strong because this dog shouldn't be. No excuse. Go ahead, Jack. Now look at
Look at this one over here. She wants to go so bad. It's like Scooter in a bowl, but she can't like.
Now I'll take a little bit of a step back. You know, watch her eyes. My tone changed. I became pretty serious with little Ellie. And look at her right now. She's going, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." Well, you're fine, but you just can't do what you're doing. Boy, she'd like to. Ah. So those are things that you continue to build on. My dog, no dogs are ever finished. Mine are never finished. Constantly working on them. Anybody else got questions?
I have on the tennis ball with the sun on it.
Yeah.
If you keep rolling them over the same area, are they going to get confused?
Yeah, but they'll sort stuff out through age.
Okay. I didn't know how long that.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't mind doing it over and over and over to be repetitive and consistent to form a little habit in a certain situation, and then maybe move it later. But their noses are literally so good that if they go past, like the hottest, freshest track smells different than the one that's aged. They can tell,
Even
like
with the liquid smoke?
yeah, they can tell, like because it takes time, and the scent changes the longer it's there. It starts to break down, and like a dog's nose is so good that it can smell. Like if a bird runs past, and then the dog comes across that track, the dog knows which direction the bird is going. How does he know? Because one direction it's hotter than the other. So when you start rolling scent and there's 10 minutes in between, 5 minutes in between, it's just like a bird going one way or the other. 5 minutes ago, this scent smells different than right now. And so they literally are built to process it that way so that they can figure out which direction to follow stuff. Good question. Anybody else? Well, I've got people that stick the longest get stuff. Who's got a dog at home? You got one? Who's got 3 dogs? You might need 3.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
I got 4. Don't worry. Leash? I'll give you our website.